This is not the capitalism of free men and free markets. It's not capitalism based on innovation and hard work and ethics, and sacrifice and risk. No, this is the capitalism of connections and government bailouts and handouts, waste, influence peddling, corporate welfare. This is the crony capitalism that destroyed Europe's economies. It's the collusion of big government, big business, big finance, and big labor bosses. And that collusion is to the detriment of the rest of us. The little guys, Reagan had said, you can't be for big government, big taxes, and big bureaucracy and still be for the little guy. So when I talk about the little guy, I say that with all due respect too, okay? It is a slap in the face of our small business owners, the true entrepreneurs, the true job creators in this country. You who own small businesses, you account for 70% of America's businesses, all of the jobs created through you, small business owners, 70% of our jobs. It's you who own these businesses, and you're the economic engine, but you don't grease the wheels of government power. This collusion, it's counter to everything that our republic was founded on. But it's at the heart of President Obama's economic vision for America. This is his fundamental transformation of America that he warned us about. Remember, he told us just days before the vote was taken that his goal was to fundamentally transform America. We tried to warn you. We didn't do a good enough job of, and the press was absolutely absent in terms of vetting and asking what did he mean by fundamentally transforming America into something that we do not even recognize? Well, now we're seeing what he meant. In practice, this is socialism for the very rich and for the very poor. But it's a brutal form of capitalism for the rest of us. It is socialism for the very poor who can't find jobs in this economy. And therefore, they're reduced to a degrading dependence on a near bankrupt centralized government to provide for them. This robs them of the life-affirming and pride that comes with self-determination and self-initiative, AKA a job. It keeps them forever under the thumb of government, where they are shackled. Government's doing nothing to let them bust out and bust free of those shackles because government is in the way of the job creators. And Obama's vision is socialism for the very rich, for the crony capitalism, those who participate in this corrupt and compromised system that has resulted in so many of the economic woes that we see today. Now, the very rich who get the bailouts and the stimulus funds and the special favors that allow them to waive or even help write the regulations that the rest of us have to follow, those burdensome regulations that really act as a boot on the neck of the small business owners. Those of us who don't have friends in these high places, we don't pay for the lobbyists who will write the rules that apply to us but don't apply to them. The White House today, if you notice, they pay a lot of lip service to the interests of the working men and women, the middle class. But at the end of the day, they're all too happy to burden us in the middle class, our families and our kids and our grandkids, with the bill to bail out their Wall Street friends. And Obama now, he calls them the fat cats, right? And he publicly disparages their practices there on Wall Street. But then he shows up hat in hand at their fundraisers, and I think, calling these guys the fat cats, I think his catnip is promises of more stimulus, more debt, and all of this in the name of his re-election bid. We should not forget that for all of his lofty rhetoric, our president is a Chicago politician. He's a that Chicago politician where graft and cronyism and quid pro quo are the methods of that infamous Chicago political machine from which Barack Obama emerged. This corruption isn't just the result of a few bad apples. No, it's a skewed system that's typical of one not allowing a level playing field. It's government picking winners and losers, politicians deciding who will be too big to fail and who deserves the bailout and who deserves the grants and non-competitive processes, who's going to get your money. Folks, if one desires opportunity for all and to save America, then the only solution is sudden and relentless reform. And I know of what I speak because I too served in public office in a state that had a corruption problem. The difference, though, is that I fought that corrupt system, that political machine, and Barack Obama used that machine in his state to advance. He never challenged it. In fact, I challenge our president to tell us whenever did he challenge and fight the corruption in Chicago or in Washington, D.C. I challenge him to tell us what is his track record of ever fighting for that true reform, that positive reform that America deserves. No.